Good evening and welcome to the Legends edition. I am Fayyaz Qureishi and that's on your favorite channel, KBC Channel 1. On the Living Legends segment tonight, we have land estate agent expert and philanthropist David Masika. And a sign language interpreter for tonight's edition is Lucy Mara. But first, a quick look at the highlights for tonight's bulletin. 3 people, among them a chief, are killed as bandits raid Lekik area in Samburu. 4 people die, hundreds hospitalized as cholera outbreak hits Mandera. Visiting U.S. First Lady urges women to seek empowerment through financial independence. Drunk police officer who threatened a motorist with his firearm is indicted. Welcome back. Tension is still high in Lekik's Sabuk area of Samburu County after suspected armed bandits killed 3 people, among them an area chief, during a Saturday morning raid on 4 villages. 5 people, including 2 National Police reservists and 3 civilians who were missing, were found with injuries after a long search following the attack, which happened despite joint police and army security operations going on in the region.
On Saturday night, Lesilampa, Lekirishati, Lempoko and Lengoseg villages in Lekek Sabuk area in Samburu West were attacked by suspected bandits. 1 person was shot dead and 7 cows stolen. As the security personnel confronted the raiders in a bid to recover the stolen animals, a shootout ensued that left a chief and 3 people dead.
Muliona vile wamevamia jeshi kwa hii ngozi ya Chachunai. Askari walipata majeraha, hatujui kama wamekufa. Leo asubuhi vijana wale walikuja kuangalia mahindi kwa maboma vile watu wametoroka jana, ndio wamevamiwa.
Wakati tuliona serikali KDF walikuja, tukasema asante Mungu sasa imetukumbuka. Ndio jana wamepigwa. Leo asubuhi ndio chief wetu ameuawa. Sina chief na ameuliwa akiwa na uniform, full uniform.
Kwa hivyo tunaambia serikali wajaribu sasa kuhakikisha kwamba wanapigana na serikali nyingine, sababu hii watu ni kama wanaonyesha nyinyi kwamba ni serikali wako na nguvu kuliko nyinyi.
Police said 2 National Police reservists and 3 other civilians who went missing following the raid were found with injuries after a long search. The multi-agency troops drawn from the Kenya Defence Forces and the National Police Service are trailing the bandits to recover the animals stolen. However, tension remains high in the area, with residents reportedly fleeing their homes to safer grounds.
Kila usiku ng'ombe inaenda. Hakuna sasa mtu anaishi hapo, watu wamehama na kuhama. Serikali kama kuna operation, mnangoja nini? Ile silaha ambayo mnatafuta mlionyeshwa ya kwamba ndio hisi. Sisi tunasema kama Wasamburu tunaendelea kuisha. Sasa ni nini ambayo mnatungoja? Watu wetu hawana silaha kwa upande hii na tunachinjwa kama mbuzi. Mpaka viongozi, mpaka lini tunaweza kuona mumefanya kitendo kile mlikuwa mumesema jaribuni mimi? Mtajaribiwa mpaka lini?
The attack coming days after Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki visited the region to oversee an ongoing operation to get rid of illegal firearms in the hands of civilians. Ben Chumba, Legends Edition.
4 people, among them 2 children, have been confirmed dead in Mandera County from a cholera outbreak. Confirming the incident, Mandera County Executive Committee CEC Health, Mahmood Ida, says over 622 cases have been reported across the county, with an average admission rate of 35 patients per day. This has prompted the administration to commence contact tracing, hygiene education, water treatment and inspection of all eateries to avert the spread of the disease. The county government is, however, calling on the residents, especially in the areas of Mandera East, Mandera West and Mandera South, to observe prevention guidelines.
Hali ya ugonjwa wa kipindupindu hapa Mandera kutoka tarehe 15 Januari mpaka wa leo, wale watu ambao kwamba wamepata hii ugonjwa ni watu 622. Kati yao wale ambao kwamba wamehakikishwa wamekufa na kolera ni 3. Na hiyo namba imeongezeka, mtoto mmoja ambaye kwamba leo ameletwa Mandera, ikiwa Mandera Cholera Treatment Center, Mandera Town Cholera Treatment Center, akiwa amekufa. Last 24 hours wale watu ambao kwamba tumewapata wamepata hii ugonjwa ni watu 16. Kutoka peak ya 54 sasa tuko 16. Hiyo haimaanishi ugonjwa imeisha, ugonjwa haijaisha, ugonjwa bado iko. Tunahakikisha kuwa school health programs zinafanyika, tunahakikisha kila shule iko na maji, tunaambia management hakikisha iko na maji na hizo maji ni maji safi. Choo na nini ziko sawa na ziko za kutosha. Juhudi za kuelimisha wananchi jinsi hii ugonjwa inatapakaa ama inasambazwa pia inaelezwa kila mahali, pamoja na ndani ya msikiti pia.
Opposition Chief Raila Odinga has maintained that the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission servers have never been opened as claimed by President William Ruto. Raila says experts contracted by the commission to manage the electoral process protested the Supreme Court order to have servers opened for fear of breaching its security and intellectual property rights. Raila is adamant that Kenyans must know the truth about what happened at the ballot. Achola Simon reports.
Opposition Chief Raila Odinga took his agitation for electoral reforms and lowering the high cost of living to Kakamega County. Hours after President William Ruto said IEBC servers have always been open for scrutiny, the Azimio la Umoja leader maintains that IEBC servers have never been opened and that the Venezuelan experts contracted to manage the last general election protested the Supreme Court order to have the servers opened for fear of security breach of previous election results stored in the servers and intellectual property rights.
But the servers were not opened. The servers have not been opened. When we went to the Supreme Court, our lawyers demanded that we should be given access to the servers so that our experts could interrogate the contents of the server. We got a letter from the company called Smartmatic, the service provider. That letter is in public domain. I gave a copy to the media yesterday and they have refused to publish it. But that letter said we cannot allow access to our server because that will impinge on our proprietary rights and interfere with the result of elections in other jurisdictions.
Bwana Ruto, your Smartmatics friends, your Venezuelan friends protested, wakazuia servers kufunguliwa. Sasa if you are smart enough, tell your Smartmatics friends wafungue server mara moja.
Raila Odinga and his allies have vowed to sustain the pressure on the Kenya Kwanza government to lower the cost of basic commodities.
Kukataa kuweka pesa ya subsidy ya kuteremusha chakula wakati wa kiangazi na umaskini. Hiyo ni njama ya kuua Wakenya. Ni njama ya kuona Wakenya wametaabika.
The leaders accused the government of attempting to make education expensive through alleged fee hikes.
Wewe ni hasla, wewe ni hasla, naomba mnisikilize. Wewe ni hasla sampli gani? Ambao watoto wa mahasla wenyewe saa hii hakuna chakula nyumbani. Saa hii kila kitu kiko juu. Mumesikia vijana wakasema hata kupata date haiwezekani. Si namna hiyo? Alafu the most important thing you must give to your people is education. You cannot adulterate higher education. Uwezi kunyima watoto wa Kenya elimu.
Ukiwa kiongozi yako jambo mawili ambao unaangalia. Jambo la kwanza ni elimu ya watoto. Jambo la pili ni afya ya wananchi. Ni sasa kama school fees imeenda juu mpaka university, hao watoto wa maskini watasoma namna gani?
Tutawamobilize katika 47 counties na hold demonstrations. The demonstrations will not be a mother of demonstrations. It will not be grandmother of demonstrations, but it will be the ancestors of demonstrations.
The opposition says the 14-day ultimatum it gave the government still stands and it won't relent until the entire irreducible minimums are addressed. Achola Simon, Legends Edition, Kakamega County.
Women have been urged to take advantage of available options to access affordable credit such as table banking. First Lady Rachel Ruto, accompanied by visiting First Lady of America, Dr. Jill Biden, said financial independence is the key to unlocking the voice of women who for long have been left behind by financial solutions. Betty Kiptum reports.
Number 12, normal savings, 1,500.
These are proceedings of a table banking meeting in Kibera. Fate brought these women together after they were displaced by the 2007-2008 post-election violence. They formed a group to support each other financially. The group has so far supported them to start and grow different businesses.
Naidika sana kwa sababu hata mimi sikujua maneno ya kumanage kitabu na vitu kama hizo. Wameweza kutusaidia sana. Our group imekuwa kushinda hata vile tulikaa hiyo miaka kutoka 2012 mpaka wakati walitumit 2019.
First Lady Rachel Ruto was accompanied by the visiting First Lady of the United States of America, Dr. Jill Biden, to take stock of how table banking is changing the lives of women in Kenya. They sat through this meeting by the Peace Women Group of Kibra. Kenya's First Lady said the project has been instrumental in restoring the dignity of women and giving them a voice at the table.
Women that could not even go to meetings, we have brought dignity back to the women. One woman told me that anytime they went for meetings in the villages, they used to be told to sit on the grass. But because of the joyful women and empowering them economically, when they walk into the meetings, they are called to sit on the high table. And so today we are saying that women are sitting on the table.
She said the Joyful Women organization will digitize its processes to inspire young women to save.
We're in the process of digitizing our processes and digitizing the table banking concept so that going forward, even if the ladies don't meet, especially now that we are talking about the young generation, 19.7 is the median age for Kenya, and to tell us that we have very many young people who may want to just work on their phones.
America's First Lady Dr. Jill Biden said such initiatives are the key to empowering women through financial independence.
It's pretty ingenious that women found a way to support other women, to lift them up and to increase economic prosperity for the families, right? It's not just for you. You do it to support your families.
Access to credit for most women in Kenya is difficult because of lack of collateral and other challenges that they may face. Table banking is one of the initiatives that looks to ensure that they access affordable credit and grow their businesses, just like the women behind me of the Peace Joy Women Group. Betty Kiptum, Channel 1 News.
And now it's time for a quick break. We'll be back in a short while. Stay with us.
Kupata maisha kama sikiza tuni yako, bonyeza star 811 star 816 hash.
Maisha ni mafupi, hivyo si vyema kumaliza muda mwingi katika malumbano. Hesabu baraka zako, wathamini rafiki zako na tabasamu ili udumishe amani.
Kupata maisha, bonyeza star 811 star 816 hash. Star 811 star 816 hash.
Jumapili hii kwenye runinga ya KBC, ungana naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu kuanzia saa 1 hadi saa 2 asubuhi.
Ningetaka nikwambie, our Jehovah God, because the Bible says he is the same yesterday, today and forevermore. He is able to take you to a place of abundance. He is able to take you to Rehoboth in the name of Jesus Christ.
Kipindi ni neno la neema, ukiletewa naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu. Usikose.
I really mean what I said. You're beautiful. Okay, Fabiola, what's the matter? You seem so lonely. You're beautiful but lonely.
Don't worry, since I'm all right, I'll see you later.
And since I know my daughter very well, I know that she wouldn't forgive anyone if she were betrayed. Is that the reason why she's mad? Did you make out with some other woman? Who is she?
Now I'm going to let you swallow your filthy words, Milena.
Welcome back. Youth across the country have been urged to refrain from indulging in vices that lead their life astray. Nyeri Diocese Archbishop Anthony Muheria singled out drug abuse as the biggest threat among youth, urging the young people not to shy away from seeking help in church. Archbishop Muheria also waded into the gay community agenda, supporting the Supreme Court ruling that acknowledged their right to form associations, urging Kenyans not to deal with hypotheses but look at the facts.
Thousands of youth gathered at the Dedan Kimathi University of Technology grounds in Nyeri County to mark the National Youth Mass, organized by National Movement of Catholic Students Kenya in partnership with Kenya Conference of Catholics Bishops. It is here that Archbishop Anthony Muheria urged the youth to be positive in building their future.
Don't let yourself go into drugs. My dear young people, if the young people who are Catholic young people decide we are not, let's say it in that, if we ain't getting involved in that stuff, please don't hurry God. And that's what is making us become thieves. Thieves. Because we want the money holiday. And eventually, it eats us up.
Muheria challenged parents and the older generation to work with the youth and give them a shoulder to lean on when faced with challenges.
Rub shoulders with them. Let's listen to them. Even if what they are saying may not make all that sense, just listen to them and then you guide them back. That's the challenge we have as leaders.
The event was attended by youth from universities, colleges, schools and parishes from across the country.
Happy, I feel I have some hope in my life, and the word that he has said today was of encouragement.
We have learned on how to help those who are in need.
On the Supreme Court ruling on Friday that allowed the gay community to form associations, the Nyeri Diocese Archbishop said their acts can be condemned, but not their right to form groups.
If some people who have been involved in crime decide to make an association of ex-convicts, is very good. But we don't hope that they are going to make an association of ex-convicts in order to organize to steal. So association is fine. They are humans. They have a right. But the actions can never, ever, ever be taken as right. They are wrong, and so anything that will facilitate those actions will be wrong in itself. Pathetical. Let's not engage into polemics and conflict. Let's just say the facts as they are. Each person decides how they want to see and to handle it.
The National Youth Mass is an annual event that is held at the beginning of the year to launch evangelism events and activities calendar for the youth. Kenya has been defined as a youthful country owing to its high numbers of the young people making the biggest population. With this, church leaders say there is every need to nurture and guide them if they are to overcome the many glaring vices in the society. Kamchemenza for the Legends edition at the Dedan Kimathi University of Technology, Nyeri County.
Inspector General of Police Jaffet Kome has condemned the actions of a police officer caught on camera brandishing a firearm and threatening a motorist while intoxicated. Kome says the service shall not condone or protect any officer whose actions can bring the image of the police to disrepute.
A police officer in uniform behaving contrary to the rules that govern the National Police Service. Seemingly intoxicated by alcohol and power that comes with the job. Relentless, the motorist tries to cool the temperatures, but the unruly officer keeps pushing, trying to stamp authority. The viral video is called the Eye of Vigilance House, and the officer has been indicted. An investigation launched into his conduct. Inspector General of Police Jaffet Kome says the actions of the officer do not represent the values of the service. In a statement, Kome said that the service will not condone or protect any officer found abusing his or her powers. Isafar reporting for the Legends edition.
An acute water shortage has hit major towns in Murang'a County. The water crisis has now left major institutions such as schools in the region with no option but to buy water. The irony of the situation is that has caused a scarcity of clean cooking and drinking water is that the county is home to some of the major river sources.
A spot check by Kenya Broadcasting Corporation revealed that a number of schools in Murang'a County are now being forced to buy water as their taps have run dry.
Shida ya maji imeleta maswala mengi sana. Kila siku ni lazima tupeleke mwanafunzi mmoja ama wawili ambao wana ugonjwa wa tumbo. Na hatukuwa tunajua kumbe ni shida ya maji.
The water scarcity has also forced farmers in areas such as Mochagara, who are mainly dairy farmers, to abandon the practice.
Mito mingi inatoka katika Murang'a na inaenda pale kusaidia pale pengine, lakini hapa hakuna usaidizi wetu wa maji.
Affected residents have attributed the crisis to the boundaries war between Murang'a Water and Sewerage Company and the Murang'a South Water and Sewerage Company that has disrupted supply to residents of Githingiri, Maporomoko, Jogo and Thika Greens areas who used to get water from neighboring Kiambu County.
Tukienda kuuliza swali kama hilo, tunaambiwa kwamba hapa ni kwa Moswasco, sijui ni kwa Mwasco. Sisi hatuhitaji zile competition ile ya kampuni. Ile kitu tunahitaji ni maji, tuwe na maji available.
Residents are now lamenting as they are forced to walk long distances searching for water.
Kwanza wakitoka shule hawana time ya kupumzika, wanakuja tu kwa mto kutafuta maji ya kwenda nayo shule kuoza madarasha. Na tena tunasubuka sana sisi huku ni wakulima, tunakosa maji ya mifugo yetu. Na tunachokaga sana na hatuna hata time ya kufanya kazi ingine. Kutoka asubuhi ni maji tu.
They are now calling on Water Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome to resolve the dispute.
Agoja ni mingi hapa. Nasikia mtu anaumwa na tumbo na sio kitu kingine ni maji. Sababu maji ni mbaya kabisa. Kabisa maji hapa tunasikia kabuni ziko lakini hatuona kabuni hapa.
Zainab Said, Legends Edition.
President William Ruto has appointed former Ainamoi MP Sylvanus Maritim as the chairperson of the Board of ICT Authority for a period of 3 years. Elsewhere, media personality Njogu Wanjoroge is the new chairperson of Kenya Film Classification Board following his appointment by Youth Affairs, Sports and Arts Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba. Appointments were also made in 13 other state agencies.
In a Gazette notice issued Friday, President William Ruto appointed former Ainamoi MP Sylvanus Maritim as the non-executive chairperson of the Board of ICT Authority for 3 years. The appointment of Maritim revokes that of Professor Frederick Owino. The president has also appointed Muyumba Simon Indimuli as Secretary of the Board of State Corporations Advisory Committee for a period of 3 years. The head of state has also made changes at the leadership of Capital Markets Authority, appointing Ugas S. Mohammed as the board chairperson for 3 years. Meanwhile, Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has appointed Ali Swale, Anne Jerry, Elijah Lagat, Frederick Ngugi and Lucian Zongo as board members at the National Campaign Against Drugs and Alcohol Abuse Authority. Information, Communications and Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo has also appointed 7 new board members at the Communication Authority of Kenya, revoking the appointment of 4 members of the board appointed by the previous regime. At the Women Enterprise Fund, Public Service, Gender and Affirmative Action Cabinet Secretary Aisha Jumwa appointed 5 new board members while revoking the appointment of Bashir Golich. Media personality Njogu Wanjoroge is the new chairperson of Kenya Film Classification Board following his appointment by Youth Affairs, Sports and Arts Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba. Yeshuk Washira, Legends Edition.
Farmers in Taita Taveta County are not fully earning from their bananas due to limited value addition facilities in the area. Our coast reporter Junay Karisa was in Taita Taveta, which has been ranked 2nd in banana production in Kenya, and files the following report.
Join us on this journey to the land of 1,000 hills, a land governed by a basic principle, Teria Kidombo Tailiwa. The sand which is sat on is not eaten, a Taveta saying embedded through generations. Here, a person's worth is not measured by his assets, but by the yields from his farm. We're in Taita Taveta County, Taveta Sub-County. Here, over 5,000 farmers practice banana farming, both for food consumption and commercial purposes. If the market is explored to its full potential, then a bountiful harvest awaits not only for the county, but the country as a whole. Here in Kitobo village, we met James Mutua, a banana farmer who also supplies suckers.
Kupitia county government ya agriculture waliweza kutuelimisha na wakatuambia kwamba ndizi nzuri sasa hivi tunaweza kupanda na tukapata faida ni hizi ndizi za tissue culture.
Rearing of the tissue culture grade 9 seedlings in the demo nursery is a delicate affair for almost 2 months.
Neti inazuia mambo mengi, inazuia mambo na magonjwa na pia inazuia mambo na nini na jua na pia ule upepo. Sasa hii mbegu ikija inakuja ikiwa ndogo kuliko hii. Ndio naomba kwamba kama itawezekana zile mbegu tutakazoweka oda kwa hizo kampuni za mbegu wazileta at least ikiwa size hii. Ikiwa size hii ukiweka hapo kwenye poti itakuwa ina uwezo wa kustahimili na itakuwa kwa haraka.
After 12 months, the bananas are ready for harvest.
Unaweza ukauza ndizi kimkungu ikapimwe ikahesabika kilo, na pia unaweza ikanywa ukaweka kwa zile crates za plastic ikapimwa kikilo, na pia unaweza ikanywa ukaiuza na crate hizi za kawaida za tomato. Ile crate sasa hivi hiyo tajiri ananunua kwa bei ya 950, tofauti na hizi zingine ukipima kwa kilo unakuta ndizi moja unaweza ukaiuza na shilingi 800 ama 750 ukishapima zile kilo. Na akishakata zile ndizi anakaa day 1 day 2 inatakiwa pesa zako ziwe zimeingia katika akaunti yako ya bank.
10,000 seedlings can accommodate up to about 7 acres in a piece of land. Now imagine the ripple effect of mass production that can happen in this farm if these farmers are given subsidized prices for the seedlings. The 12-kilometer Njero Kubwa Canal is the main water source that supplies over 5,000 hectares under banana plantations here in Taveta. This is Eric Ingoka's 5-acre farm. On a weekly basis, Ingoka hires 5 workers for tilling, 10 for harvesting, and 15 workers for applying manure.
Unaona barabara haiko karibu, kuingiza mbolea pia ni shida. Unaleta mbolea mbali, kutemsha kwa barabara, alafu utafute watu wa kuleta mpaka hapa shambani.
Every week, 300 batches are harvested on this farm and transported to Mombasa.
Wakati wa mvua ambayo imenyesha vizuri, tunaweza kata mara 2 kwa mwezi. Lakini kama saa hii kiangazi iko, nakata mara 1. Mwaka huu kiangazi imechukua muda mrefu kwa sababu kuanzia mwaka jana ni kama mpaka mwezi wa 12 hakuna mvua. Na mpaka tumeingia Januari mpaka Februari, unao kiangazi imechukua muda.
Their biggest challenge to maximally reaping from their sweat remains value addition on the bananas.
Tukiwa tunategemea soko moja kama Mombasa, Taveta nzima tunapata hasara. Lakini kama kwa wastani kama serikali ingefanya itengeze kiwanda kama hapa sasa Taveta. Iwe kiwanda inachukua, Mombasa inachukua, soko itakuwa mzuri.
We are hoping that the Taveta Loitoktok Road will be opened up so that for us it will open up the Nairobi market.
We want to increase our farmers to approximately 7,000 and productivity to almost 60 tons. Through the support of European Union, we started our banana processing plant. But it's not complete, so we just call upon donors and guys of goodwill so that if the plant can be finished, it gives farmers another avenue.
The ball squarely lies with industry players to pump more resources into the production as well as the value addition elements in order to reap bountiful profits from the sector. From Mbogoni, Taveta constituency, Taita Taveta County, I'm Juni Karisa Mbele.
Kenya is home to 45% of grey-crowned cranes in the world, according to data from the International Union for Conservation and Nature, IUCN. However, the bird population is fast declining due to the degradation of wetlands and the effects of global warming. Researchers say Kenya is increasingly becoming unsafe for the crane.
Census conducted by the Kenya Wildlife Service in collaboration with the Museum of Kenya and other partners revealed that Kenya has only between 8,000 and 10,000 grey-crowned cranes, down from about 35,000 recorded in 1998. Another census is scheduled for next week and is expected to draw recommendations on how to save the remaining population. Speaking in Kitale, Maurice Wanjala, a specialist in the endangered grey-crowned crane, says the report will be made public as soon as the exercise is complete.
Hii census ambayo tunaanza itachukua muda wa wiki 2. Na hizi wiki 2 tutakuwa nafanya ile tunaita kwa Kiingereza physical count. Tunasabua ndege yule tumeona kama kazi ambayo yeye anakaa ama kama kwa barabarani, na tunatumia pia njia ya kisayansi kwa sababu wakati tunapata huyu ndege tuko na kitu inaitwa GPS. Tunachukua coordinates ya mahali ambapo tumepata huyu ndege, ili wakati mwingine tutakapoulizwa na ulimwengu ya kwamba mliona hawa ndege na walikuwa wapi, mkipeana coordinates hata mtu yoyote anaweza kufikia hapo mahali na akaona kweli ndege hawa wako.
Wanjala said they are working with other researchers around the world to help restore the bird's habitat.
Ukweli wa mambo ni kwamba sehemu hizi sikikauka, wewe na wanyama pori na hata wale wanyama wale ambao tumefuka, sisi zote ambao ni viumbe pia tutaangamia. Kwa hivyo ni muhimu sisi kubuni njia ya kuweza kutumia sehemu hizi vizuri. Kwa Kiingereza tunasema we should actually lobby for wise use of these wetlands so that they benefit both man and wildlife.
For Legends Edition, Shakaina Maoga.
A family in Makueni is appealing for help to facilitate the treatment of their daughter who developed swelling on her left shoulder last year shortly after allegedly being vaccinated against COVID-19. The painful swelling has continued to expand, putting the teenager's life in great distress as she cannot do basic house chores on her own. The family is now calling on well-wishers to come to their aid and rescue them from this condition that has now even affected their daughter's mobility. A warning that you may find some of the images disturbing.
You would be forgiven to think Cynthia Ndunge, seated on a stool at their home in Makueni County, is holding a baby at her bosom. This 17-year-old girl was a normal, healthy girl without complications until August 2022, when she allegedly received her COVID-19 vaccine. 6 months later, this is the aftermath. A severe swelling on her left hand that has subjected her to a life of misery.
Hii ni kidonda ninatoa. Hii si uchafu. Hii ni majini inatoka hapo. Alafu hapa kuna kidonda ingine kubwa sana. Hiyo iko na shimo. Alafu kuna ingine hapa sasa. Hii ndio iko wazi kabisa.
It is a condition that quickly escalated, forcing her to drop out of school at Form 3 in her desperate search for medication.
Nikaenda hospitali, sasa ndo nililala Friday, wakanituma MRI, wakanifanya operation.
The deteriorating condition that was now affecting her mobility led to Cynthia's referral to Kenyatta National Hospital from Akindu Sub-County Hospital. However, they still haven't been attended to due to lack of funds.
Kuoga naoshwa. Juu kuna place siwezi fikia. Hata saa hii nilikuwa nimekaa hapa. Kidonda moja inauma sana. Na imekuwa mbaya. Naendelea kuwa wasi juu hatuendi hospitali.
Her mother, Zipporah Zilani, is a single mother of 4 who makes a living by washing bed sheets in a local bath.
Yani wanne, hatuna pesa ya kufika hospitali. Changamoto ni mingi sana hapa nyumbani.
The family is now appealing for help from well-wishers to help them raise money to facilitate the treatment of Cynthia Ndunge. For financial assistance, the family can be reached at 0726 897507, 0726 897507.
Nimesahau kucheza Loto Moto. Usisahau kucheza Loto Moto. Shinda milioni 2 kila siku kwenye M-Pesa. Chagua lipa na M-Pesa. Paybill number 757070. Account number andika neno Loto. Kisha weka star na nambari yako ya simu. Weka kiwango chochote cha pesa kuanzia shilingi 50 hadi 2000.
Aulali.
Lipa kisha subiri draw. Welala. Nitakutimizia ndoto zako. Milioni 2 usiamini. Ujumbe huu umeidhinishwa na BCLB.
I'm Marie Yangbo here in the southern part of the country in Oloitoktok, where, as you can see, farmers have lost their crops to the ongoing drought. Some families are even feeling the pressure to marry off their girls for an income. That story coming soon on KBC Channel 1.
There is no wealth without health, and it all begins here. And regular exercise. Your Health Show brings you an array of health information to keep you informed and healthy. Real people and real stories.
Kurasa wa wadi baada ya siku 2-3 nikapelekwa theater. Wakasema walitoa nyama upande wa nyuma. Walipopima hiyo nyama walipata ni kansa.
Nasema wewe rafiki yangu sasa Kombi, huo umri uliokuwa nao kama hivi unafanya na mama Fumbo wewe. Uliyapata wapi na mimi namwambia mimi mwenyewe pia mimi nashangaa.
Join me, Marie Yambo, from the laboratories to the theaters as we feature cutting-edge technology in healthcare diagnosis and treatment, only on KBC Channel 1.
Good evening. I want to say a big welcome to this sports segment of the Legends edition this evening. I'm Topi Liambila. Commonwealth Games champion Ferdinand Omanyala won the 100 meters race in the world lead time of 9.82 seconds at the second leg of the Athletics Kenya track and field weekend meet, which culminated today at the Nyayo National Stadium.
African 100 meters record holder Ferdinand Omanyala powered his way to his third sub-10 seconds, winning his 100 meters final in 9.82 seconds today. Omanyala set a world lead yesterday at 9.86 seconds in the heats and slashed his lead again today. Samuel Imeta finished second after clocking his first ever sub-10 to produce 9.84 seconds.
It feels nice on the right track because this season we are targeting the World Champs and the Diamond League final, so we're on the right track just to maintain so that August and September gets us still in the same shape.
I'm so happy because I've managed to have my personal best today and more is expecting.
In the 10,000 meters, Emmanuel Korir from Central Rift clocked 32 minutes, 19.44 seconds to take the overall win. Maxon Kipngetich and Jackson Kipleting took second and third positions, respectively. In the 5,000 meters women's final, Rebecca Mwangi won the event after winning yesterday's 10,000 meters. Africa 20-kilometer race walk champion Samuel Gadhimba won the men's 20-kilometer race walk, beating Dominic Digiti to second place, and Stephen Dangili settled for third position.
Atumaini represent Kenya outside the country tukiwa kule Dar es Salaam. Na yenye naomba wa Kenya watarajie mazuri mema kutoka kwetu.
This time round ningangane kwanza niingie team, then kuingia team niende sasa kule Budapest niende ninganganie medali yote kwa sababu siwezi sema naenda kuchukua gold ama silver ama bronze, but ndaenda pale ningangane.
Plan zangu ni kuenda Tanzania kukimbia poa na nikue good champion.
In the men's 110 meters hurdles finals, West Manuel won the event and doubled with another win in the 200 meters men's final. Maximila Imali won the women's 100 meters dash.
The second Athletics Kenya meet has come to an end here at the Nyayo National Stadium. This event attracted over 1,500 athletes who came from the under 18, under 20 and the senior athletes category. Nora Mwangi for Legends Edition.
Well, a great day at the Nyayo National Stadium today. I'm sure all the athletic buffs were happy to see Omanyala do that stunt. Teresia Mudhoni and Margaret Akidor missed out of the podium after the two Kenyan athletes finished 4th and 5th positions in the 3,000-meter race at the World Indoor Tour final in Birmingham, United Kingdom. 9-year-old Kenneth Mburu Mungara was crowned the champion of the 2023 edition of the Limuru Half Marathon, held at the Rironi Primary School in Kiambu County. Mungara completed the event in 1 hour 48.28 seconds, while Moses Mbogwa finished second in 1 hour 1 minute 20.11 seconds. The event was making a comeback after a 5-year break.
The government expected to
Kenneth Mburu Mungara emerged victorious in the 2023 edition of the Limuru Marathon held at the Rironi Primary School. Kenneth Mburu, who has also participated in the full marathon before, has never finished outside the top 10 since 2012. Moses Mbugwa finished second ahead of third-placed Gabriel Kahura. In 2009, Mungara broke Mumbai Marathon course record that had stood for 31 years before participating in the Waterfront Marathon in Toronto to defend his title and ended up breaking the Canadian all-comers record. In the 10-kilometer race, Samuel Mungai emerged the winner, followed by James Mungara, who took the second position, while Kelvin Mwiruru finished third. Area MP John Kiragu said the competition, which was making a comeback after a 5-year break, was being used to raise funds to finance the education of the needy students in the area.
Na leo effort yetu kubwa ni kuchanga pesa, kwa sababu najua kuna changamoto sana upande wa form 1 ama shule ama university education, na kwa hivyo tungetaka kwa njia yote kutafuta pesa ambao tutaongeza ile basari serikali inatupatia ama county, ndio sisi kama watu wa Limuru tuweze kusaidia watoto wengi ambao wako na shida.
It will be any less dry.
Kenyan Premier League leaders Gor Mahia stretched the lead at the top of the league table, standing after beating Kenya Police 2-1 at the Kasarani Stadium. Police dominated the match from the beginning and took the lead in the 11th minute through Elvis Rupia. However, Gor Mahia leveled the score line after Dennis Nganga scored the equalizer 8 minutes later. Kogalo, however, scored the second goal in the 81st minute to earn the 3 points. In other matches, Bandari won 2-0 against Bidco. Kakamega Homeboys beat Vihiga Bullets 1-0. Ulinzi Stars defeated City Stars 2-0. Wazito FC lost 1-0 to Mathare United, while Talanta FC and Zoya Sugar played to a goalless draw.
Yeah, that day was...
Kenya Pipeline defeated Kenya Prisons by 3 straight sets in the first leg of the Kenya Volleyball Federation Women's League at the Nyayo National Stadium. In another match, Directorate of Criminal Investigation defeated Nairobi Water 3-0 at the same venue.
Kenyan Pipeline made its intentions clear from the onset, winning the first set 25-13. The team coached by Paul Gitao rallied and won the second and the third set 25-18, 25-21 to walk away with maximum points. In another match, DZI edged out Nairobi Water in 3 straight sets. Meanwhile, Kenya Volleyball Federation Vice President Charles Nyamberi says his federation is working to nurture talent at the grassroots.
We take our youth programs very seriously because that's the source of our future talent. So, and on the national side, the Ladies League for 2023 served off today, the first leg. We've already had 3 games, 2 games, and there is a third one going on. And the standards are very high. We are very happy to have new teams having come in.
The league continues tomorrow at Nyayo National Stadium, with DCA facing Kenya Pipeline, while Nairobi Water take on Kenya Prisons. Kingori Mwangi for Channel 1 Sports.
a speech from Vladimir Putin.
Still at the Nyayo National Stadium, National Cereals and Produce Board NCPB produced a masterclass performance, edging out Kenyatta University 36-16 in the Women's Handball League match played at the Nyayo National Stadium. NCPB remains third in the league with 27 points, 1 point behind Rangers, who are second with 28 points.
National Cereals and Produce Board dominated the first and second half of their league game against Kenyatta University, winning the match 36-16 at the Nyayo National Stadium. Lena Njeri was the top scorer for NCPB after she managed to find the net 9 times. Sarah Mabonga contributed 8 goals, while Balina Chieng, Joanna Kini and Cheryl Atieno netted 4 goals each. Annette Baraza and Magdalene Muma were the top scorers for the losers after netting 4 goals apiece. NCPB remains third in the log with 27 points, 1 point behind Rangers, who are second with 28 points, while Kenyatta University are sixth with 14 points. In other matches played today, Daystar thrashed New Hope 36-16, Rising Star defeated NCCC 44-28. For Legends Edition, I'm Thela Onyango.
Ivy Aseka, Tevin Waweru and Chikashi Nakano emerged winners in the Nairobi County Aquatic Association Level 3 Swimming Championships, which will end tomorrow at the Makini School. The event has attracted 14 schools from Nairobi County.
Ivy Aseka emerged victorious in the 12 to 13 years old 1500 meters freestyle category, then finished second in the 400 meters freestyle category behind Nadia Faisal, who emerged victorious.
Swimming is a tough sport, especially since it's an individual sport, so you have to keep on pushing yourself. So you have other teammates tell if a person plays wrongly, they make the whole team play wrong. It depends on you yourself, so it's very hard to keep the discipline for you yourself to keep on training and going on swimming.
In the boys 14 to 15 years 400 meters freestyle, Chikashi Nakano clocked 4 minutes, 55.76 seconds to finish first, ahead of Victor Okech and Max Kenyi, who came in second and third respectively.
I currently swam the 400 free and the 100 back. My PB for the 400 free is 5:47, and I went under 4:47, and I'm glad I went under 5 minutes.
Little Fish Swim Club tops the boys' standings with 5 gold medals, 2 silver and 1 bronze medal, followed by Brayburn Swimming Club and Poseidon Swimming Club in the second and third places respectively, with 11 and 3 medals respectively.
I was in lane 6 in 400 free. Next, was second next to Andrew Gola. It made me so happy because I got a silver.
Brayburn Swimming Club lead the girls' table with 7 medals, ahead of CEO's Aquatic Center and Hillcrest International Schools respectively. For Legends Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Gabriel Martinelli's goal was enough to help Arsenal beat Leicester City 1-0 and earn 3 crucial points in the fight for this season's Premier League title. At the same time, Danny Ings' first goals for West Ham proved a launching pad for a huge 4-0 win as David Moyes' side pulled themselves out of the Premier League relegation zone. The other matches saw Leeds beat Southampton 1-0, while Everton lost 2-0 to Aston Villa.
Beat Ben White. It was masked from the ref.
Well, what a great performance there, for Arsenal today. I mean, I'm very sure, of course, I know Fayyaz is a big fan of Arsenal, and many others.
I can tell you, my son-in-law asked for in the UK right now. He's jumping sky high.
Oh, yeah,
he must be
because of
extremely
that.
excited.
Just been a great evening, and that is a wrap for the sports. And of course, Ferdinand Omanyala.
Oh, he's awesome.
I mean,
absolutely brilliant, huh?
You're fine. Anyway, it was great, and we hope that, the best is yet to come for Ferdinand Omanyala. I'm Topi Liambila. Until next week, Keep tuned to KBC Channel 1 Sports.
Thank you very much, Topi. And that's all from our newsroom. Our sign language interpreter for tonight's edition was Lucy Mwaura. Now we go on to the Living Legends segment, an interview I had earlier with land estate agent expert David Masika. Such a great, dashing personality, and we go straight to the interview. Thank you very much. Good night.
Kiswahili kitukuzwe, Kenya nchi yangu nitaitukuza, nitailinda maishani mwangu, Kenya nchi yangu nitaitukuza.
I have a dream that one day tuta raise men, when wata raise men watakuwa not only wana spend on women, but wakona kusave na kuinvest on women pia. Akili ni nywele. So kama unaweza invest on a saloon, utashindwa vipi kulipia hakosi?
Yote 9. Mbona tuandike na wengine wapo?
Kweli mzazi mara nyingi huwa kazini na hana muda mwingi wa kuwa na mtoto wake, lakini unapata katika weekendi hapo ndipo mzazi anakuwa na muda wa kumpa wosia mtoto wake.
Kwa vile walimu wengi ni wakali na kuna venye wanaogopa kwa vile walimu wanaweza enda umbea moja kwa moja. Kwa hivyo wanaona ni vyema kuendea wazazi kuwaitisha sodo na wazazi huwa wanajibika kwa kuanulia sodo kuzuia aibu.
Na kama unavyoona marijali hao wako chonjo kabisa kuweza kufanya makekes. Hebu DJ tupe kitu kidogo kabla kuapisha. DJ.
Kiswahili kitukuzwe.
I really mean what I said. You're beautiful. Okay, Fabiola, what's the matter? You seem so lonely. You're beautiful but lonely.
Don't worry, since I'm all right, I'll see you later.
And since I know my daughter very well, I know that she wouldn't forgive anyone if she were betrayed. Is that the reason why she's mad? Did you make out with some other woman? Who is she?
Now I'm going to let you swallow your filthy words, Milena.
I'm Marie Yangbo here in the southern part of the country in Oloitoktok, where, as you can see, farmers have lost their crops to the ongoing drought. Some families are even feeling the pressure to marry off their girls for an income. That story coming soon on KBC Channel 1.
Welcome to the Living Legends. I am Fayyaz, Qureishi. When one holds a top office in a top organization, it is expected that they will consolidate that position and grow with the business. The idea that one would resign and form an organization that will be in direct competition with their former employer is deemed career and financial suicide. Our guest today went against convention, and his name is now associated with the management of prime property and philanthropy through Cheshire Disability Services Kenya. We speak to a living legend of Kenya's business world, Mr. David Masika. It's so great linking up with you after all these years. It's a very special moment for me.
Same for me.
To be in the same space with you.
Yes.
Of a man I have extremely respected and honored over the years.
Thank you very much indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
And of course, we'll just start off by asking you about your early life, education, and your time at the University of Nairobi.
Well, thank you very much indeed. First of all, let me give you thanks for just giving me this opportunity. First of all, to meet with you, and also just to talk generally, and I hope this will continue. I was born in then Machakos district, but in a place which is now Makueni County. And therefore, my early life was in Makueni, and that's where I went to primary school. When it came to secondary school, I came to school here in Nairobi, but finished up in Western Kenya in Bugoma School, because the practice that time was some students would be exchanged with other students from Nyanza and Western Kenya, with others from Machakos and so on and so on.
That was a very good thing.
Yes, it was a very good thing, because it kind of kills the tribe in
the
you.
Tribalistic issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
You become friends, and
absolutely.
Tribal issues are set aside.
And even now, most of my friends still are from Western, because those are the fellows I played football with. Those are the fellows we danced with. And therefore, that's where I did up to Form 6.
And that's how it should be.
That's how it should
That's
be.
the world we
I don't know
dream
how
of.
it was stopped.
Yes.
But that was definitely a very good thing. Now, when we started preparing to come to the university, I wanted to do law, because I thought it's best if I were a lawyer. But apparently when I went to Form 5, the English teacher didn't turn up. And therefore when now we have to prepare for the exams to do to the university, I could not do English. And therefore I ended up by being delegated to something different. Now, I looked into the curriculum, for the University of Nairobi, to try to find out whether there was something else I could do. And there was a degree, which there is today, called a BA in Land Economics. And the BA in Land Economics carries a lot of law with it, because you've got to do the law of contract, building, construction. In 4 years, or in the 3 years we are in the university, you still do law. But of course,
so obviously you being inclined towards law, this appealed to you.
Well, I liked law, and therefore, although I could not become a lawyer, but there was a lot of law in it.
So that's why you went for it?
That's why I went for it.
So you specialized specifically in agricultural valuation?
Yes, agricultural valuation. That's my specialty even today. And so, after 2 years, then once I was admitted to the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya, then, I was free either to practice here or choose something else. But they were wiser than that, because at that particular time, I was then sucked into the company now and became an associate.
Right.
And my friend Abenga now joined us as well.
So when you started, what were the challenges? Yes, John Lloyd joined you. In a very controlled setup, you could call it a closed shop.
The challenges were just the normal.
And what opportunities came your way? Challenges must be immense, I'm sure.
As soon as we started, because the people knew us, the valuation work quickly started coming up.
Right.
We thought that all we were going to do was just the valuations. But very quickly we realized you need to have an agency department to be monitoring the market for you. You can calculate things, but you need somebody to tell you, yes, I have sold a house. And then you can analyze that house and build your knowledge, not just theoretical part of it, and so on and so on. So we started in urban valuations and me in agricultural valuations.
So you broadened your horizon.
So we broadened our horizons and things like that. And so
which you had to.
Yes.
To stay within the market.
Yes, that company continued with that. Later on, of course, we'll be joined by engineers, because it's one of the companies that will never try to do what we do not know. And therefore, as for the machinery, we always got an expert to look at the machinery and advise us on the machinery, because it's not just costing it. There is much more obsolescence and things like that. And this Lloyd Masca does up to today anyway. What we don't know, we seek support and assistance.
You chair the board of Cheshire Disabilities Services Kenya. Tell us about this institution and the charity work involved with disabled adults and children.
I thank you very much indeed for bringing this. Now, Fayyaz, if you remember when we were at the round table, once every month or so, we will raise money for some people with disabilities.
Yes.
And some of our seniors, like Sam Wariu, would be quite active in that. Because at that particular time, I did join Cheshire. Cheshire is an English international organization, which is run from London. Now, from the 40s, they used to have some homes here. Kariobangi Children Home or Old People's Home, Limuru Children Home, and so on and so on. Dagoretti Children Home, and so on and so on. Now, that is how I was introduced into the Cheshire homes. And so we started. But as time went on, the London office started becoming less enthusiastic in supporting the homes. In fact, as it starts now, the English have kind of completely changed from supporting the disability completely, feeling that just like for Asians, these people are better off supported by their families, if the families are there. Because in most cases, yes, somebody may need requirement from a family which is not there. So I would say about 40 years ago, Sam Waruyu, who was the chairman of Cheshire Global Cheshire here, he handed over the company to me. And seeing how things were getting on in London, we negotiated with them to allow us to form our local one here, as opposed to relying on theirs. And they kindly agreed. And when they agreed, we did form CDSK, which is then Cheshire Disability Services. And with that, one of the main reasons was I will not just simply rely on dish outs from London, but I can also seek for assistance from elsewhere. With it, we managed also now to become a member of the Global Alliance of Cheshire Homes, independently now. Independently now. Such that now that the English Cheshire Homes has kind of collapsed or is no longer in operation, it doesn't affect us at all. So we do have our own Cheshire.
So you're a separate entity on your own, but still linked with the overall body as such.
Now, all those after the English collapse, they now formed a global alliance now of the others. So as of now, Cheshire Disability Services, we do have about 5,000 children with disabilities and some homes like Kariobangi Old People's Home, which we do support. So it's now a huge institution. And we do raise funds from all over the world. We do raise funds from Lillian Funds, also from Britain, when they have got the money as well. So it's quite a large thing. So as of now, we have about 5,000 children with disabilities that are supported countrywide by Cheshire Homes.
Your political aspirations, I'll let you say it.
That's one thing I never thought I would do in my life, politics. But they say when calling comes, then you got to answer the call. I come from one of the best counties called Makueni. And Makueni, since we devolved into a country, has done extremely well. Now, come 5 years ago, I felt I had experience that can be employed to better certain things in Makueni. And therefore, I brought myself up and said, look, I am available. Let me say, this was not just purely for political. Even before I could come out to campaign, I was still working with the governor wherever he had issues that he thought I could be of assistance. I'll give you an example. When the railways was being done, there were the issues to do with land compensation, and I was involved. When the Thwakedan construction started, there were issues to do with the compensation. And having had that experience, as you remember, which you didn't mention, for about 8 years, I managed Tana and Rivers Development Authority. And during that time, we put up the Masinga Dam, and we put up the Kiambere Dam.
Well then, congratulations.
Thank you.
What an empire you've built.
Yes.
And it's been an extreme pleasure to have interviewed you this afternoon.
Yes, thank you very much.
Let's hope you grow from strength to strength. And all the best in your political aspirations.
I need all the luck on that. It's a new field to me. But even in that, there is a need for somebody with some kind of background. And I believe, given the opportunity, I should be able to move things from where we are forward. Not backward, but forward.
Dare to dream and live your dreams. And when you do so, you help others achieve theirs through simple acts of charity. It has been a pleasure speaking to real estate expert, avid farmer and philanthropist, Mr. David Masika on the Living Legends. I am Fayyaz Qureishi. Thank you for joining us.